Hello, screeners. How you doing? It's me, the one AJ, Anthony Jordan. Do not believe the rumors or the
hype. You're in the wrong place. I'm here. It's me too, Nico Lurot. How are you guys doing?
So for anyone on VOD or Pod Squad, the rumors are that the silver screen dudes were 4 minutes late because AJ couldn't have a table. I'm not
table.
Internet, and this is going to be who knows. The way my mood is fixed, the way my mood is going, it may be fixed by next week. But that's a different story completely.
Yell at Vodafone. Yell at Vodafone.
No, do you know what? So that's the Vodafone, but Vodafone is a bit too far. This was the... Let's get into it. I hotspot to do my thing because the Wi-Fi is just a bit too far from where it's plugged in on the other side. So Vodafone may have been, but I've also found that I did do one pod with Vodafone in here, and my hotspot was a bit stronger. So I thought I was on my hotspot from my phone, but no, it had somehow decided to go back onto the Vodafone. But Vodafone is not really to blame too much.
That's fine. You can still yell at them, though. It's always fun yelling at customer service people. It's one of my favorite pastimes, customer service people who are in customer service. Why? Because they don't do customer service. Hey, I need a problem. Sorry, I can't help you with that, mate. Or could I just take your details, please? Get a date of birth and an address. Oh, no, we can't help with that. The fuck are you here for, then?
Do you know what I love? Right? Sorry, guys, tangent, but here we go. I call up and I would like to pay a bill. Nothing more. I would like to pay the bill. Yeah? No details of XYZ. Here's the account number. I would like to pay the bill. We'd like to process you through security. Oh, you are not authorized on the thing. So you're going to complain that I'm not here to teeth the person. I'm here to pay the physical bill, and I've not passed security. What is there that I need to do to prove for you to just take my money?
Yeah.
I find it the most redundant thing ever. If you want me to change billing details, fine. Oh, no, yeah, I don't want you to pay for number XYZ. I want to pay for ABC. Then, yeah, now we're doing something. No, I'm saying, here's the details for this address. I'd like to pay it. Oh, but you're not authorized to pay. All right, then don't take the fucking money then.
Right. The letter comes 2 weeks. We regret to inform you that we're cutting your energy because you did not pay. No shit.
Because who? Not because of me. Fucking idiots.
Egypt. Yeah. Fucking life, mate. Anyway, we have each other. We have the Movie Mount Rushmore. We have the film family. We have a beacon of light in this very difficult time.
Yeah. I'm just going to address it.
Yeah.
Gavin, there are other broadband providers available. Yes, there are. When you don't live in the fucking sticks. So the companies that I was previously...
Rob, you lived in Fulham and had trouble.
No, Fulham was actually pretty good. Fulham got fixed. That's where I had... Here we
Eventually.
go. I'm giving everybody props. No, Fulham was pretty decent. But then again, OpenReach, they suck. I then went to Community Fiber, when you said to me, my days, I've never seen you look so crystal clear. Perfect. Move to the sticks. Oh, sorry, this provider is not available in London. So they're outside of London. So here we are. And that's where we're at.
To be fair, you're looking much better this week. You were looking a bit kind of Super Nintendo pixelated last week.
So far, so good.
This week you're looking good. Yeah, touch wood, literally. Who's in the house with us? Richard J. Skarenkius here. Hi, still on this topic. How many more parts of this is there? This is the last one. Do
you know there was a part of me that went, maybe there should be a fourth because it's normally 4 polls, but I was like, just leave it. Because it's getting a bit tight for me.
We could. We fucking could. Francis Lalonde says, seems like you are taking a page from Peter Jackson's playbook, turning one novel idea like The Hobbit into a 3-part epic. Yes, but unlike The Hobbit, part 3 will also be good.
Ooh, shots fired.
Part 1 and 2, I will defend till the cows come home. Those are good movies. Gavin Mann, as you said, is here. Who else is here? Mixed Memorabilia is here. Hello, everyone. Hello, Mixed Memorabilia. Billy Mann is here. Hello, Nico and AJ.
I'm just going to take a picture of this thing that Francis said my rant sounds like. You can put it up if you wish, but... Okay.
Francis Lon says, Nico posted a link on IG. You really do need to do some diving vlogging in the Great Lakes region. Bro, fly me out there and I'll do it. Not a problem. Billy Mount says, Nico, have you heard that John Bernthal is coming back as Punisher in Daredevil Born Again? Don't care, because I don't trust Disney at the moment. That's not a diss at you, Billy, but Disney have not done anything in the last few years to make me say, yeah, the MCU is still good. No. What I see at the moment is the MCU has moments. The MCU is like WWE at the moment. It's like you have moments which are good. Most of it's not very good. It's like you're like content creation. It's like, here's your big spot fest. Look, here's Logan Paul and Ricochet colliding at the Rumble. Was the Rumble good? Not really, but you had the spot.
Spot fest.
Spot fest. Disney's literally a spot fest. I like Black Panda Wakanda Forever. I've said this. Did I say panda again?
Black Panda. I was like,
fuck sake. I keep saying that, you know. And I'm an unabashed defender of the Eternals. I thought most of the Disney Plus shows, short of WandaVision, have been. And yeah, I don't have much to say about the MCU recently. I've always been a Marvel guy, but DC are putting out a better product at the moment. Joker, the Batman, Suicide Squad, Peacemaker. DC are batting better than Marvel at the moment. This is fact. When was the last time Marvel made a movie anywhere near as good as the Batman or the Joker? It's been a while now.
Take away Wakanda Forever. I know what you're saying.
Endgame was a while ago. Yeah, and Wakanda Forever was not as good as those two movies, in my opinion.
I have a lot of love for Wakanda Forever. I'm not
Me
gonna
too.
lie.
Me too. It's fucking great.
Yeah.
It's fucking great. Absolutely great. Love it. But look, do I like the idea of John Bernthal coming back as the Punisher? Sure. Am I worried to hell about Daredevil being turned PG? Yes. But Blade! Bloodless vampires. Can't wait. We saw what happened with that in Morbius. Blue blood.
If not done right, it's just extremely wrong. And that's the thing.
Bro, I don't know what to think about it. Riri Thomas is here. Hello, Riri. Good evening, guys. Great to see you both. Also wonder what you guys think about this opinion. I think they should only ever do teaser trailers. I know AJ will agree with that.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I think we're at a point, Riri, where I can't help but agree. I feel that some of the best jokes are being revealed. Some revelations are just coming out, and I don't need it. You go into a film and you look at something like, for instance, I think The Flash is all kinds of awesome. I personally wouldn't have shown Supergirl. I feel, let that be a grand reveal. Let that be something. Tell us there's a Kryptonian. Let us see the body. Be like, oh shit. Okay, fuck. Now, there's no actual disappointment in the fact that it's a different Kryptonian. It's a different universe. Yeah, some people might feel that they got sold into because Henry Cavill was there, this, that, and the other. Who cares? It's
man like Triple H. We got bigger surprises coming.
Yeah, no, listen, I get that. And I
watch Christian Bale get cast. Watch Christian Bale end up in this movie as Batman. That will break the internet.
It probably would. But yeah, I can only but agree that I think teaser, give me short, sweet, just make me want to see more, and that's it. All of this, third trailer, fourth trailer, final trailer, fuck off.
Literally. RJ Skorenki says Scream 6 this week, baby. AJ Rico. Hey, man. Are you gonna watch this weekend? Do you know what? This weekend, I'm probably gonna go and see that new dinosaur movie, 65 with Adam Driver. That looks fun. That looks all kinds of fun. It
does look fun, but I'm scared that I've seen, like, again, has the trailer given me the hype? Like, that's as juicy as it gets. Man lands on a different planet, fuck, there's dinosaurs. I've got technology, pass me its future. Then it gets extremely weak. Now, when we done top 10 dinosaur movies, do you remember? It was categorically Jurassic Park and the rest. Literally. And I kind of feel it's that. And I pray for Adam Driver's sake, 64 is not Tammy and the Dinosaur, because fuck me.
Agreed. Yeah. Agreed. It was slim pickings, that dino topic, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Tell you what's not slim pickings, LA, boy.
Round 3, fight.
This has been fun. Shall we do this?
We can do. But before we do, would you like to tell everybody what the Movie Mount Rushmore is all about?
Yeah, so for those of you joining, thank you so much. Please, if you want to find out what the top 10 movies set in LA Part 3 are, then please be sure to stay tuned until the end. And if you like movie content, consider hitting the subscribe button, and please do like the video and share it with anyone who you think may be interested. Help us grow. That would be greatly appreciated. How does the show actually work? AJ and I each get assigned a separate list. We go our separate ways. A separate list. That's wrong. AJ and I each get assigned a topic. We go our separate ways, and we come right back here onto the live stream, into the pod, or to the video on demand, whatever you are, and deliver to you, the Silver Screen Dudes, our film family, our individual top 10s. This week, I will go first, delivering my bottom 3. AJ will then deliver his bottom 3. I will deliver mine next 2. AJ will deliver his next 2. I am not on the ball today because I have underslept. We will then trade one apiece when we get to our top 5. Once we have both rounded off our individual top 10 lists. No, fuck. See how tired I am? Bro, you see how tired I am? Bro, I am underslept to fuck. My daughter did not let me sleep last night. I'm all over the place today.
Yeah,
if at any point while we're running off our individual top 10 list, one person has a movie in a higher position, that person will say,
Hunt.
Well done, Nico. Fucking banging job after 6 seasons.
You're good.
And once we have both rounded off our individual top 10 lists, we will create, in the voice of Chandler Bing, the movie Mount Rushmore. These are the 4 quintessential diverse must-see movies of the genre, which this week is
yet another top 10 movies set in Los Angeles. Now, guys, as you know, normally each topic goes on and then it gets harder because while us, the Silver Screen Dudes, normally have to just pick 4 of a topic, this time there's 12 of a topic. It doesn't matter. What happens in that time, you guys then have to crown El Capitan, El Numero Uno, the best of the best of the best, with honors, sir. And how do you do that? Well, there's only one way. You head on over to @MovieMTRushmore. But more importantly, you can head on over to the person that we are retweeting, and that is @MoviePolls4You, fronted by good old JT of We Love Movies. So you'll go over there, you pick one page, you get 1 vote. It doesn't matter if you go to both pages. It's a retweet. It's 1 vote. And at that point, we will announce the winner. So surprise, surprise. Last week, our topic was
the best movie set in LA, Part 2.
Part 2. And our contenders were
Pulp Fiction, Chinatown, Blade Runner, and Die Hard.
Right. Oh, Die Hard was the second week. 2 Bruce Willis in 1 week. This is fucking tight. This is freaking tight. Oh, it's gonna hurt me to go with this. Pulp at number 4.
No.
Thank God. Chinatown at 4.
Chinatown at 4. 11%. There was, weirdly, AJ, a very clear winner on this list, which surprised me.
Is Bruce Willis a mid-card guy? Through and through. There's a lot of love for this film. Yeah, I can't get into it just yet. Die Hard at number 3.
Nope.
Pulp at number 3.
Nope.
Blade Runner.
Yeah, Blade Runner came in at 3. That was my surprise. Blade Runner came in at 3 with 21%.
Okay.
Yeah, now it's hard. Now it's really hard.
Yeah, now it's really hard. Now I'm going to go based on the way you wanted the fight to go before, where it was you wanted Terminator 2 and Die Hard in the same round, and I kind of fought to get it pushed down. So for that only, I'm going to say Pulp Fiction at number 2.
No.
Something told me Pulp Fiction would have won. Okay, that was a terrible round for me.
Awful. Die Hard came in at 2 with 27%. Bro, amongst this list of titans, Pulp Fiction still cleaned up. 41% for Pulp Fiction.
Jesus.
Yeah, okay. I have a feeling even without doing this week, we already know who the total winner is going to be based on this. Craziness. RJ Skarenki says, in my opinion, 65 looks like a flop. I agree, and I still want to see it. And Scream will be number 1 with a big, gigantic opening. No way! No way is Scream making 90... Bro, no way. Scream is not making 95 million. I'll take a bet with you right now, AJ. Scream this weekend will do.
I'm on your side here. I don't know if Scream is still Scream.
Like Scream's never opened big ever.
But no, I get that. I get that. But do you get what I'm trying to say? Even from what it was to where it is now, I don't think the world are going to be clamoring like it's Scream 6. Like they're pushing heavy on the marketing.
I mean,
but
aside from RJ Skarenki, who gives a fuck?
Like, I'm going to be honest, as someone who enjoyed Scream, I've stopped at 3. I remember having a US DVD, and I needed, like, I had to region kill it in my player and all that. And
Scream 2 for the
I've
win.
just
Come
not
at me.
gone further.
Scream 2 for the win. Come at me.
No, I had no beef with that. So, but yeah, either way, it's been a while since I've got into the Scream world.
Scream 6, I'm predicting will open. You could take this as a segment and then tell me I'm wrong next week. I'm predicting Scream 6 opens 30 to 40 million.
Number-wise, it probably will be the best seller of the week, but I don't think it's going to be major numbers.
There's too much out at the moment to take money away from it for it to do anything above that. Creed 3 came out last weekend. Cocaine Bear is still making money. Puss is still making money at the weekend with all the families. You've got people saving their money to go and see John Wick 4. Like, Scream's not doing 100 million. Like, no chance.
Yeah.
No way. 30 to 40 is my prediction. And thank you for reminding me of this mixed memorabilia. Can we please take a moment to say RIP to the brilliant Tom Sizemore? That one hurt me. Considering we spoke about True Romance last week, my favorite of his movies.
Do you know what kills me with this? And I don't say it in a... It's you realize you're getting old when you see your heroes faded off. And then you start to see some of your heroes or one loved actors, musicians, superstars, whatever stars that aren't that old. And you're like, oh, fuck, it's in that era where you don't have to be old, but you're old enough for it to just be acceptable that you're gone, you know? And it's just
Pacino and De Niro getting awfully close.
Eastwood,
Ian McKellen.
Shatner
is on borrowed time. Like, the fucking Shatner is a god amongst men for looking as good as he does. He's like 92.
Yeah.
Oh, he looks like he's 75. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Man, like, fuck, black don't crack. Shat don't crack.
Yeah. Fucking hell, James L. Jones. Yeah, Dick Van Dyke, Mel Brooks.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's wish them all long life. Let's not start listing
long life. Long life. According to Shatner, eternity.
He should have been in Eternals. Literally just.
Well, what was it a few years ago at Mania when Shatner came on and said thank
you?
He
was Hall of Fame, innit? He went into the Hall of Fame.
He went into the Hall of Fame, came on and said thank you, and then Ozzy Osbourne came on after. Ozzy Osbourne is like 20 years younger than Shatner, and he looked 20 years older. I was like, what the fuck? You want to see?
Remember that one?
You want to see? Don't do drugs, kids. Osbourne and Shatner. Look.
Yeah. Sharon.
I told you to take the kids out. He does make me laugh, Ozzy, I have to say.
I do.
All right, let's get into this.
Okay. Right, it's your first, so run with it, my bro.
All right, my number 10. People are going to say, really, this? Yes, this, because I think the whole story, the story beyond this movie, surrounding the making of this movie is just fascinating. My number 10 is The Disaster Artist.
Hunt.
Yes, my man.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie. I'll explain when I come to it later. But I had nearly forgotten it, and luck had it that I remembered it at a very last minute. But yeah. Well done.
So good, cool. So good. All right, that was a good start. My number 9. I thought this would be higher, but you know what? I rewatched it today, and I was like, no, you're lower category. You are. Despite having one of the most iconic actors who didn't make many movies, James Dean. Rebel Without a Cause.
Do you know I've not seen it? I've heard of it forever, but I've not seen it.
It is a must watch. It is a must watch. But I'll say this: it has thematically, it's still relevant because it's like any teen angst movie. You know, what they do very well in this is that there's the gender transcending universal truth of we get fucked up by our parents, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's the handling of the subject matter which feels dated. It's very heavy-handed. You got to appreciate this was made in 1955. So it does show its age in terms of the way they handle themes. Like, there's a knife fight that happens at Griffith Park Observatory, and it's so lame. Like, I know what they were doing at the time, and in 1955, it must have been like, whoa. Watching it now, it's like, boy, I can't watch this in a post-John Wick world. I'm sorry.
You know what? That is kind of how I felt about West Side Story. When I saw something, and I was just like, you're ballet dancing, bro. Just stop. Like, if it's a knife fight, fight. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah. So, but look, James Dean really could have been another Marlon Brando. Like, the screen presence that he has is quite something. And this is, he's still quite green. He's a raw talent here, but the talent is so evident to see. It is heartbreaking when you can see that he wants a male role model in his life, and his dad is just not giving him that. Not because the dad's a bad dad, but just because the dad's got a fucked up dynamic with his mum. And Jim Stark, James Dean's character, Jim Stark, his way of lashing out is doing dumb teenage shit. Getting into knife fights, making them move town, playing chicken with driving cars off of cliffs, real kind of life risking stuff. But the iconography of it is beyond dispute. We're talking about movies set in LA. This does have some insane LA landmarks. I mean, La La Land does many tips of the hats to this movie. The whole drive up to Griffith Park Observatory that you see in La La Land, that is literally, they've angled it the same from Rebel Without a Cause. Like, it's so obvious where the inspiration comes from. That scene where Gosling and Emma Stone are dancing in the observatory and they take off from that center podium. Literally, there's a shot like that in this. So it's had a huge impact on modern day filmmakers. It's got universal truths in it. It does have generation-defining themes of us having to deal with fucked up parents, which we've all had to deal with because all our parents are fucked up in our eyes. Bit heavy-handed. So my number 9.
Cool. No problem.
And my number 8, again, thought this would be higher. And then some other movies came into fray. But my number 8, I've got 2 Quentin Tarantino movies this week, and my first one is Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Look, it wasn't ever going to make worse, but this is the one Tarantino film I have.
Hateful Eight.
Well, yeah, but I finished Hateful Eight, despite the overuse of, what was it? You said big black dungus and all that shit, and was it the overuse of the N word in that film that really, I was just like, now you're pushing it. Like, I'm going to touch on it a bit when there are times when I feel like there are cultural appropriations that just don't work. I will be touching on it very shortly, but I don't know. I just felt, and it hurts me to say this, right? But I felt like there was a bit of the Tarantino magic that's just missing in this. Like, it's not, I don't know, there's something about it I just couldn't.
I would agree with that. I don't think we've had the Tarantino magic since Kill Bill.
I was tempted to say that, then Django crossed my mind. I think
Django's good. I don't think it's him at his best.
Yeah, this is it. It's a good film, but it's not Tarantino.
He's lucky he's got Christoph Waltz in that movie. And I know people will say Inglourious Bastards. It's like, again, lucky to have Christoph there. Inglourious Bastards.
It's good film, but it's not Tarantino, is it? There's a Tarantino.
It's not Pulp. It's not Reservoir. It's not True Romance. It's not Kill Bill. It's not One I'll Mention Later. It's not him.
Yeah.
I much preferred him when he was doing his gangster stuff as opposed to his period stuff.
I would agree. It's there's something just missing, and I think if I could go in trying to watch it as a different film, it's one thing. Trying to watch it as a Tarantino piece, I was just taken out. I was like, what are we doing? And then again, it just dragged as well.
So to that point, it's Tarantino telling a fairy tale. It's him telling a fairy tale, presenting itself as a love letter, not to Hollywood. People always say it's a love letter to Hollywood. It's not. It's a love letter to the actual art of film making. That's what it is. Like, all of that scene with DiCaprio and the young girl, that's nothing to do with Hollywood. That is literally breaking the fourth wall and lifting the curtain of how actors interact with each other, how scenes take place when they're actually being shot. Like DiCaprio in full character and every few words going, line, that shit's real. And then it's done in the editing room to cut it up. And of course, you've got the Manson murders as the backdrop of this, which he put a nice fairy tale spin on, because no one wanted to see Margot Robbie get fucked up. That was just like, no, don't want to see it. That's what everyone was worried about in this movie. Thankfully, because it's once upon a time, we flip the script a bit. We change it up. I will still defend the Bruce Lee ass whooping scene and go with my whole he was an unreliable narrator. People being like, "Oh, the Bruce Lee, the Bruce Lee estate were angry." I'm like, I'm not surprised.
I would be. I would be fuming.
I would be too. But now, can we take a step back, breathe, and realize who was the person telling us this story? The guy who got fired from the set. Now, him speaking to us, the audience, what sounds better? Oh, I got fired because I picked a fight with Bruce Lee. Got my ass whooped and still got fired because I picked a fight with Bruce Lee. Or I got fired because I whooped Bruce Lee's ass.
Yeah, we're talking about a heavily damaged stuntman. So this flashback is going to be unreliable as fuck.
Unreliable as fuck. I don't believe that happened for a moment. And literally punching him into a car to the degree that he dents a car. It's like, please. Come on. Okay. This is fairy tale stuff now. I'm not meant to believe you as a narrator. So cool it. I don't then people like Tarantino is disrespecting Bruce Lee. He's not. Bruce Lee is literally one of his favorite things ever. You just have to read his book, Shooting from the Hip, to know the affinity he has for Hong Kong cinema. Like Tarantino's not going to go shitting on Bruce Lee. It's just, but yeah, it's a good film. I think 8 is a good position for it.
I'm not really going to argue.
Gavin Mann says, haven't seen Hateful Eight and Once Upon a Time yet. Saw Django Unchained last week, though. Oh dear. Huh?
I don't dislike that Django.
Django's good, not great. It's good, not great.
And again, if you go in expecting the Tarantino, you are going to be disappointed. You are. I can't help but think that.
Ibrahim Almala's joined us. Hey, Ibrahim, thanks for coming, man. Great to see you. Riri, I think 6 is a little harsh. I'd probably up it to a 7, but I get your point. Mixed Memorabilia says, Once Upon a Time is a good film. I appreciate it's not Tarantino of previous years, but as a film, I'd like to think that we see some evolution art in Tarantino film. I also see this as a comic book type. Well, that's Tarantino through and through. He's synonymous with doing comic book inspired movies. But that was my bottom 3, AJ. What are your bottom 3?
Right. Okay. So this is one that was recommended by Mixed Memorabilia. I think you were tagged in it as well, actually. I saw it on Twitter, and it came up a few times, and I believe Mixed Memorabilia was like, it's a guaranteed number 1.
Oh, it's a 10.
Let's get to the name first. Blood in, blood out, bound by honor. Do you see the guy in the middle, Nick?
Yes.
Who is it?
I don't know.
It's Benjamin Bratt. Do you remember what you said about Benjamin Bratt last week?
Yes. And I stand by that.
I take all film recommendations from the screeners so deeply that I'm like, let's do this, right?
Then you make your own opinion.
Then this came up, and I saw Benjamin Bratt, and I'm like, I'll be like, hope maybe Nick's seen it, maybe he hasn't. I'll be like, yo, it's time for me to educate you, my boy.
Do you see my problem with him?
This film, I don't know how. At one point, Mixed Memorabilia, no disrespect. At one point, I thought this film was going to be worse. Now, I need to hit this on as to why it didn't and why it did. Now,
because AJ is a diplomat and he's not about to go and put a recommendation.
It's not about like ruining friendship.
It's part of that.
Now I am. But here's the point where I will give you the part that killed me. Can you, Nick, for just a minute, give me your best Eddie Guerrero impression? Just do it.
Am I allowed to do this as a white guy?
Please do. But I love the question you asked because I will follow up with that.
Oh, fucking hell. Yeah, that's right, my mamacita.
I can see you feel uncomfortable.
So uncomfortable.
I'm gonna leave it there. But I'm gonna put this poster up one more time. Yeah? Because this guy on the left is meant to be Benjamin Bratt's cousin and the other guy's cousin as well. I don't know his name. I'm not gonna search it. So he's meant to be half Chicano, half white, right? But as you can see, he's a blonde-haired, blue-eyed man. And throughout the film, he's meant to be bloodbound, Holmes. Like, don't you dare! You're messing with my familia. And I'm watching this like,
oh my god, is Benjamin Bratt doing Latino?
He's doing it as well, but he kind of
automatic worst. Automatic worst.
He evolves out of it, whereas the white guy is continuing, and I'm like, this isn't good. Now, I've understood. I've done a bit of research on this film, and it was very much it's a cult film within the Hispanic community, right? And I believe it's because they threw everybody who was famous and Latino into this movie.
Yeah, including Benjamin Bratt.
Right? Now, that is the part that killed me. And I swear to you, there are some cheap, I would advise you to watch it because it's, you've got awful. This is what reminded me of The Disaster Artist, because I was like, is it so bad that you can appreciate it? And I thought of Room and I was like, oh shit, I forgot Disaster Artist. That's how it was. There are some cheesy lines. And I was like, I don't know when you saw this mixed memorabilia. And I swear to you, there's so you've got a gang warfare because there's a part where the white guy goes into prison. And you've got your Aryans, you've got your blacks, and you've got your Hispanics, right? And this war kicks off, and I swear to you, this line, I was on the tube and I rolled my eyes like I did not just hear that. Yeah? So you've got this gay black guy trying to flirt with the new, supposedly Hispanic. And the Benjamin other Hispanic comes over to him and says, hey, Cinderella, you need to find a new fella before it gets to midnight. I was like, this is not real. It's not real. Now,
don't give lines like that to Benjamin fucking
It's not even
Bratt.
Benjamin Bratt. I can't even remember the actor. I think he's the actor who's currently playing Gomez in, and I feel so bad if it's not, because I don't want to say all Hispanics look alike, but he's playing Gomez in Wednesday. I think it's the same actor. But
to be fair, this all y'all look alike is some bullshit, because I have to say, do you know who looks alike? White people. Go to Sweden.
Everyone can have the you look alike, but I'm trying to place the actor, and I believe it was him. I have not had enough time to do the research. It's been a very busy few times. Now, that is the negative to this. The story, I actually enjoyed, because as much as it felt like a car wreck, and at first I was watching the first half hour, I was like, oh my God, it's a 3-hour film. I was like, I am not doing this. But
3 hours of Benjamin Bratt, are you out of your mind?
He's actually not in it. Well, he is and he isn't. He's not the main focus, though.
No, fuck that.
Started to get to me because you're talking about this different angles of people who are like bound by the gang mentality, different gangs who are at war on the streets, how they then become bonded in prison because it's, hey, we're now the same race, so there's a bigger war on the inside than there is on the outside. The angles and the stories and the plot twist, I don't even want to call it plot twist, but the different angles and visions from each character, I was actually invested in it. Hit some points that I was like, okay, you've got me. But some of the lines were the biggest form of cheese fest. And as I said, you being the exact target that I was like, the fact that you said you felt uncomfortable was right. Because I'm watching this and I was like, there was no way in 2023 could this guy get away with what he done in that film. I think it was like 95, but he is trying to convince me, he's one of the Vacos Locos homes.
Vacos Locos are doing some whitewashing, man.
That is the part that killed me for it. But yeah.
Could we get away with Al Pacino being Scarface in 2023?
That crossed my mind as well. And yes, people say that you can find someone of Hispanic origin to play it, you know. I mean, in a world where Zoe Saldana can be in trouble for playing Nina Simone, and you know there are traits of the same color and heritage there, if that could be a problem, then I don't know if Pacino.
Zoe
can get it.
Saldana should not be in trouble for any acting choices ever.
Go back to that Nina Simone film. It's not the best.
Is
but
she
I
the
agree.
problem?
I didn't like her portrayal, but then I don't even know Nina Simone to say how good or bad a portrayal it is. But it wasn't a great film. But no, you know me already. How many times Zoe Saldana has come on my list? There is no hate for Zoe Saldana. But yeah, that was a.
Makes you memorabilia, guys. I think it's my first recommend that's been a letdown. That's true.
It has, and again, the film. I don't want to say it was a car wreck that you just can't help but stop. They got to a point where I was like, I'm going to give it a shot, and I was actually invested, but it also was like.
Just answer me 2 questions quickly. How long did you say it was?
3 hours.
Bring up that poster again.
Where are we? Yeah.
Who's that guy in the middle?
Benjamin Bratt.
Okay. Why are we still talking? Why the fuck are we still talking? I'm sorry. You put him in a movie for 30. No, fuck that. You put Benjamin Bratt in a movie for 10 minutes and I get worried. Like when that motherfucker showed up in the intro of Doctor Strange, I was like, uh-oh. Are we in for a bad movie? And that's my boy. That's my fucking guy. I was like, oh shit. Am I about to see my guy get wrecked? Because this is not a good movie if Benjamin Bratt's in it. Oh no. Whew, they wrote him off. Okay, there is a chance. There is hope. 3 hours of this Vato Loco mofo? Are you mad?
Bro, honestly,
No,
I don't know
mate.
if there was even if you were to YouTube it and just see something, because I was like, the story.
Tempted,
If you were to take this story, revamp it, take the right actors, you have got a brilliant. And I'm not shitting you, a brilliant film. Yeah, take away some of the cheesy lines that came out, you have an awesome film based on the story.
Cinderella, you need to get the novella.
That was like, when I heard that one, it's like, hey, my Chicano, and like all the time, I was like, this guy has no, like some people. Do you remember Basil? And no disrespect if you're now watching Basil, like, hey, but do you remember there was a time when I said, bro, stop that. You can't keep talking like that.
Call it on the hood shit.
Yeah.
I remember.
It was
White
much...
boy walked around saying blood more than fucking bloods.
Yeah, and I was just like, no. And this is what I had. That was the feeling I had when watching this film. Great story. Delivery was not ideally for me. Right, okay. We proceed. My next 2 are very much just a bit of a rehash. I just felt they needed to be brought back up.
Venga, come on, man.
There you go. You could actually be in Blood Out. But here we go. Let's not waste any time. Talked about it many a times in my life. Last Action Hero.
That's a shit movie, Holmes.
It's one of my guilty pleasures, bro. It's one of my guilty pleasures.
Guilty it is.
It is. It's one of my guilty pleasures. And
Doberman Pyramid.
Huh?
Doberman Pyramid.
There are some crazy shit, but I've always just liked the angle of being able to enter the film world that I liked, and how it takes the piss on the action movie tropes. And that's what made it enter the list for that. I've talked about Last Action Hero multiple times, so I think I will leave it there and just move on swiftly. Very much the same with my number 8. It's just a comedy that had kicked my mind, and I think I got not LA exhaustion. I just didn't get a chance to hit as many films as I wanted to this time. So then some of the regulars came back out. The not original LA comedy, but one of my other go-tos, Julia Roberts, Richard Gere, Pretty Woman, of course.
Oh yeah, shit. Of course, it's set in LA.
Yeah. Of course. Oh, yeah. So it was one of those that I put on the list, and it's shortlisted in case I can't make it. And after 3 series of this same episode, this one came in. And I do like the way it highlights Beverly Hills, if I'm honest with you. It shows the glam, the narcissism that's in there, and the slightly lower side of LA where she first gets picked up. So always a great laugh.
Dude, I love this film. I absolutely love this film. It's so sweet. It's so heartfelt. The chemistry those two have is fucking infectious.
There's one other couple that outdo them, but yeah, I know what you mean.
Bro, like the fact that people's biggest criticism of this movie, it always makes me laugh. It's like when I brought it up 2 weeks ago when people say about La La Land, I don't like it because it's about 2 pretty white people. I'm like, ha! Is that the best you've got? Oh dear. Oh, is the hand not up straight? Oh, honey, you have far too much time. It's like with this one, it's like it's not a man couldn't fall in love with a hooker. It's like go to Thailand and tell me that.
Listen, but again, let's take it even further. You're number one from last week. It's possible. It is possible. What? Just because you're in a sex trade, you're not entitled to love? Now who's the judgmental one?
They're not people, AJ. Come on.
Yeah.
They're creatures of use.
Yeah, exactly. And now we're wrong for saying that, but you were wrong but you're not wrong for saying that they're not allowed to have love in their life.
I know, it's fucked up.
There you are.
Oh, it's that
reverse card, bitch.
Oh, I know. Now it's that bumberclut John Roker. Yeah, I'm dropping his name now because the podcast is officially finished. Fuck you, Roker. I win.
You mean the guy who blocks you?
The guy who blocks me. I know you watch, motherfucker, because you rip off our episodes, Roker. Sit and spin, bitch. Oh, that felt so good. Yeah, they did their last episode last night and said this big empty fucking goodbye. Oh, it's been great for 3 seasons. I'm like, you're cute. 3 seasons. What pisses me off is that motherfucker lives in LA and he's actually now become a recognized Rotten Tomatoes critic. That annoys me. But hey-ho.
I without shitting on anyone, I've been in places where I've seen someone audition for something and I was filming, and I remember going back and coaxing that person into being, this is how you can do it. I've seen them make it to TV and a illustrious enough career, so some shit can really piss you off in life.
Oh,
I know that.
Oh, the fact that this fucking plum sack doesn't have an original idea. He's one of those cowboy cunts who goes, La La Land's about pretty white people. I want it to be more about Latinos. I'm like, oh, fuck off with your woke flag, you stupid bellend. Like, talk about woke for the sake of being woke. It's like, have a fucking original thought, maybe. Yeah, you can be progressive and woke, and also crazy thought, have your own fucking opinion on things. Yeah. Like, bro, he was one of those guys, like, I mean, he still is. And again, Roka, fuck you. He's literally one of those guys who, like, anything on the left. And bro, you know I'm like centralized with politics and with opinions. Like, to quote Chris Rock, crime, I'm conservative about. Prostitution, I'm liberal about. You know what I mean? And even crime, I'm not conservative about. So I'm joking here. But it's like, you know, am I for trans rights? Yeah, I'm going to get taboo here. Am I for trans rights? Fuck yes, I'm for trans rights. I think even having an iota of thought in your head that you should be against trans people having rights, you're a dumb motherfucker. But you're an equally dumb motherfucker if you can't see something wrong in a trans swimmer competing in a women's sport and beating all the women by many times, when as a man pre-op, you didn't even fucking qualify for the Olympics. You know who I feel bad that? It's not the trans people. It's the woman who got silver. Because that's some bullshit. And if you are scared to say that because you can't be fucking seen to be, oh, you're being transphobic. No, I'm not. I'm being fucking equal here. Every fucking human being on the planet has rights to succeed in what they're doing when they've applied their entire fucking life to it. Your gender doesn't fucking come into equation here. That's how I'm seeing it. It doesn't fucking matter if it's trans rights or women's rights. Why does one person... It's like saying a black man's rights is worth more than a white man's rights, or a white man's rights is worth more than black rights. No, it's not. Rights are rights, motherfucker. Like, stop tarnishing with the foot. He's one of those dumb motherfuckers who turned around and went, oh, Rihanna was amazing in the Super Bowl halftime show. But shut the fuck up. No, she wasn't.
I've not seen it.
I love Rihanna. Like, I'm the guy who says I prefer Rihanna to Beyonce. Real talk. I love Rihanna. That wasn't a good halftime show. He got on Twitter and he was like, oh, it was one of the best halftime shows in years. I'm like, bro, fucking Dre and Eminem were last year. Are you dumb? Like, yeah. He is such a twat. And I'm glad that his podcast has failed and shut down. Fuck him. Oh, I'm sorry, I had to get that out. When I saw them shut their podcast page down last night, I was like, ha, fuck you stealing our idea. But they were even saying punt. I'm like, get the fuck out of my face.
Oh, I hear you, bro. I hear you.
Oh, sorry. That therapy, that felt good.
Right. So that was my 1098. Yeah, over to you.
Right. Cool. My number 7. This one was Ibrahim Al-Mala actually reminded me of this one. And I didn't rewatch it, but he just said the words. I think it was 2 weeks ago, and I was like, that's going in week 3 because this is a fucking great movie. You brought up buddy cops last week with Rush Hour. I think I'm bringing in my humble opinion, the better buddy cop movie, Lethal Weapon.
Listen, I'm not gonna. Without Lethal Weapon, there is no Rush Hour. It's facts. Like it sets the pace. I'm not gonna lie. I forgot it was LA.
They're literally LAPD.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I did.
I'm also not gonna lie. I did a sneaky check today to make sure before putting it on. I couldn't remember either, but I was like, it's LAPD. They get a pass. Now, the first 2 movies are fucking fantastic. I may even go as far as to say that I prefer the second one just because I think the South Africans in it are such cunts.
Do you know what? You say 3 was pretty cool as well. I've not 4 of just about 3.
4 with Jet Li was not good.
No, but the first 3 I would say were decent. After that, it gets a bit shit.
3 gets silly with that flamethrower scene in the opening. I was like, what are we doing? What are we doing here? The first one, though, and the second one, I mean, Mel Gibson is so fucking wacky in the first one. It's great. But again, when you talk about chemistries, we talk about, you just mentioned now, the sexual chemistry between Richard Gere and Julia Roberts. But the on-screen presence, the film chemistry, the friend chemistry between Riggs and Murtaugh, between Gibson and Glover. Oh boy, it's so fucking entertaining. And you genuinely I know it's bad to say this, but I also do encourage people to look about what's happened with Mel Gibson. He's gone through a lot of self-finding and soul searching, and he seems to be a better human being now. But I really like Mel Gibson. I know it may not be a popular thing to say, but I really find Mel Gibson highly entertaining, both as an actor and a director. Mel Gibson entertains me, and he really entertains me in Lethal Weapon when he's like, oh, what do you want me to do, man? And he talks about how he's even got a fucking bullet with the end that's been sawn off, so it really blows a hole when he decides to take his own life. I'm like, you are on fire here, Mel. Bring the rain.
Yeah. Lethal Weapon's been a while, but yeah, it's always great fun. Always great fun. And there's not much really to add. Not much really to add. They are great. They are great.
Mixed Memorabilia says Lethal Weapon, a classic franchise that's often forgotten about. Good watch. Really good watch.
Do you know, it's one of those, again, as you said, because it got progressively stupid, people then forget about it and give up on it. And, if it had just stayed at the classics, but then, yeah, I don't know. As
I said, I do think my memory serves, I prefer number 2, just because the South Africans are their diplomatic immunity. It's like you are literally embracing your inner Palpatine here. By the way, speaking of Palpatine, Daddy Goo on 75 subscribers now.
Well done, bro. Well done.
First video that crossed 5,000 today.
Nice. Congrats.
We're doing things, boy. We're doing things. Come on, 100. By the way, guys, if you like gaming content, you can see down in my little tag below. Please head over to Daddy Goo on YouTube and help me out get to my first 100 subscribers. It would be really appreciated. That link is also in the podcast description if you want. But my number 6, a movie I've seen for the first time and a movie I have always wanted to see, and it blew my mind. Only reason it's not going higher is because my 5 are pretty much solidified. But yeah, man, Paul Thomas Anderson's Boogie Nights.
Yeah, I don't know about this film.
Fucking hell, it's good. So, I mean, this is literally about, before STDs came along and people were literally swinging their dicks in the porn industry like it was going out of fashion. It's incredible, bro. So Mark Wahlberg is the star of this. Now, I didn't know Mark Wahlberg had this gear. And I know people will... What was that movie he did with John Singleton? Help me out.
Is it Four Brothers?
Four Brothers. Thank you. I'm pretty sure Singleton directed that, didn't he?
I think Singleton had passed by then, hadn't he?
I may be wrong.
I could. I'll check. You keep going.
Yeah, I wasn't aware that Mark Wahlberg had this gear. Like, Mark Wahlberg's fine. I don't have any hate for Mark Wahlberg, but he's never made me go, wow.
You're right. It was Singleton. Yeah.
It was Singleton, right? Yeah, no. Mark Wahlberg made me go, wow, in this movie. He's super young, like really young. You look at him, it's like, Jesus Christ, like time's not been mean to Mark Wahlberg. Mark Wahlberg still looks great, but he's really young in this.
But hold on, Boogie Nights is post Planet of the Apes. Like, it'd been about, no?
Then kudos to the fucking makeup artist, bro.
Yeah, no, because Boogie Nights isn't that old of a film.
You can fact check that shit too. Then it just reinforces what I said. I didn't know Mark Wahlberg had this gear.
I will take it back. It's 97. Why did I think Boogie Nights was later?
Anyway, Mark
yeah.
Wahlberg plays this young bellhop who gets discovered by a porn director played by Burt Reynolds, of all people. So we got some Hollywood royalty. And he likes him because of his natural charm, his good looks, and a tremendous horse-sized cock. Mark Wahlberg has a very large penis in this movie. And you see the very large penis. It is impressive. Pretty fly for a white guy, if you know what I'm saying. Like, it's prosthetics. I've read up on it. Like, was that actually Wahlberg? Bro, I was fascinated. When I saw that thing pull out, I was like, what the fuck? Like, I had to look up. But was that Mark Wahlberg?
It's Wahlberg packing heat. Yeah, I get you.
Nope. I mean, he may be, but not that sort of heat. Not that sort of heat. It was prosthetics. I was like, whew, thank God. But yeah, so his induction. This is where it gets interesting. His induction into porn is to do a kind of casting couch rehearsal.
Gavin, you know, that's the question that I was about to put out.
What's that?
I was literally about to type it. And I thought, let me see if anyone else got there before me.
The penis definitely got me. I was like, what the fuck is that? Oh, Pedro Sank Justin's in the house. Opa, opa, opa. And you arrived in perfect time. Boogie Nights. Yes, my man. But yeah. But it's... So he does this casting in front of Burt Reynolds. The casting is... Fuck, why am I blanking on her name? Spy Who Shagged Me. Hot girl. Heather Graham. Ha. So you see Heather Graham, full English breakfast here. It's like, okay, this movie's great. We're off to a flyer. Julianne Moore plays this really high-profile porn actress who he gets paired with, and they do repeated scenes with. And he literally grows into this, like, first porn industry megastar. Like, gets porn awards, for fuck's sake. That's how good he is, because he can just go, and just come for days. Literally young, dumb, and full of cum. Literally. And you've got all these amazing stories happening around him. You know, like the second unit director, played by William H. Macy, has got a nymphomaniac wife who keeps cheating on him on these porn sets. You've got Philip Seymour Hoffman, rest in peace, who's got who's playing, he's a homosexual character, and he's got this fascination with Wahlberg's Dirk Diggler character. You've got John C. Reilly, who again reinforces how much of a fucking good actor he is when he's not screwing around with that human pubic hair Will Ferrell. And John C. Reilly plays kind of a backup porn actor to Wahlberg, and he's amazing in it. Don Cheadle, who wants to get out of the porn industry and open a CD shop, but he's got this whole kind of, you know, cowboy gimmick going on, which doesn't fit in with the black smooth thing. So there's all these amazing stories going on in a world which is all brought together by porn. It's brilliant, AJ. It's fucking brilliant. I cannot tell you how much you need to see it. And of course, with every rise to fame comes a fall from grace. And the fall from grace in this one comes in, surprise, surprise, sex, drugs, and rock and roll. Crystal meth. Yeah, bro, it's an amazing fucking movie. It really is. Like, I love Paul Thomas Anderson, but this was serious.
Cool. I'm actually adding it to the list now because it's been on the list. You know, one of those films that mentally's been on the list but not on the list. So yeah, just had to write that down. It sounds really good, actually.
Billy Bounce says, Nico, have you seen the original short film, The Story of Dirk Diggler, that inspired this movie? No, but fuck me, I'm going to now that you've mentioned it.
I'm just going to
Pedro Santos says, you know, it's partially inspired by John Holmes, right? Check out Val Kilmer's Wonderland based on the same person. I had no idea. I'm going to check that out too. Yeah, amazing. I'm going to check all that out. And him being an asshole does indeed come into the downfall. That is correct, Billy. He does indeed. But I would maybe say that him being an asshole is to do with the drugs. Like, the drugs don't help. But yeah, mixed memorabilia, you're safe to come back. So that was my 6. AJ, your 7.
Right, in at number 7, it's one of those that I feel like saying, click the link from 2 weeks ago because it's just been on the list and each week it kept getting pushed back. So it's finally on Chinatown. I just had to finally get it in. I just had to finally get it in. Chinatown. Yeah, so I mean, it was on the list last week. It lost. It's been mentioned. It's one of those classic film noirs. It's not the beginning of film noir. That would be Double Indemnity, as far as I'm concerned. However, Chinatown was one of those films that got me on the journey. And if you want more, click the link above. Click a link, or just click last week's episode. It's in there
down below. It's in the description.
There we go. Yeah. So yeah.
Don't make me go looking through videos, bruv, please.
No. Yeah, that's what I was like. Up, down, no, just go right now. We've got no time for that.
Up, down, shake it all around. You do the Dirk Diggler and your hair.
At number 6 is one that I'm happy. Well, you might say punt, and it isn't your worst, but I brought it up last week because we filmed on a Friday.
Oh,
yeah. I had to. It's one of
have fun. Talk.
It's one of those films that I've also talked about. It didn't actually rock Nick's world, but it's LA. It's if I talk Boys in the Hood and I talk about those, I can't miss out the comedy versions of those. And I did try to watch House Party for this episode, well, last week's episode, and it didn't rock my world. And I thought I didn't really want to bring Friday in again, but it's the film that made Chris rock. It's Ice Cube's first production. It's a hood comedy. It's a film that I've touched on so many times. We talked about hood movies just last week, but it's about a guy who pretty much just tries to survive, gets a phone call, loses his job on a Friday, hooks up with his stoner friend, and entails into a mad journey with the local bully all in one day. Mad story, great fun. We move on.
Is it though?
I love it.
Is it a mad story? Is it great fun? I don't know.
I give Friday time. So that's my number 6. Over to you, sir. You're number 5.
All right. My number 5 has been requested a bit, and it does belong on this. It does belong somewhere in this list of 30 movies that we're covering. 30 plus movies. Well, the 30 I'm covering on my side and 30 on your side. It definitely belongs in here somewhere. My number 5, my last Tarantino, Jackie Brown.
Yeah.
Had to talk about this one. Not written by Tarantino, written by Elmore Leonard, who's also written things like Get Shorty, Be Cool, Out of Sight. Elmore Leonard's a great writer. This is Tarantino's smartest movie by a country fucking mile. But it's got that pulpy swagger that his early movies have. All the characters are larger than life, and they're all the better for it. Odell Roby is one of the great Tarantino villains. Not as good as Hans Lander, but I'd possibly put him as a second.
Menacing I've seen Samuel L. Jackson. And Samuel L. Jackson as a menacing character has a menacing presence anyway. And he really delivers a chill in this.
Yeah. I mean, Robert De Niro and Bridget Fonda.
That
scene is so good.
Always thinking about right there.
It's so good, isn't it? It's so good. Just her walking away and her cute little surfer girl tushy. I was like, oh yes, life is good for this 3 seconds. Sue me, I don't care. But no, look, well, of course, we must talk about Michael Keaton because Michael Keaton is great in everything.
Yeah.
Look, it's the story of an airline stewardess who gets caught with some things that she shouldn't have, and she ends up becoming an informant, helping people out and trying to take down this Odell Roby character played by Samuel L. Jackson. And as AJ said, he is a horrible villain. Horrible villain. To go into more detail, see, Chris Tucker in this, he's annoying like in Friday, but he's good in this.
He brings depth. He brings more depth than he does in Smokey, for sure.
And you know this, man.
Well played.
Pedro Santos says, did you guys see The Long Goodbye celebrating 50 years now? One of the greatest LA films. No, I have not. AJ, do we do a part 4? Gavin Man says, sorry, AJ, I'm Nicoholics when it comes to Friday. Please don't put They Live as your worst.
Disappointed you hated Friday, Gavin. But, I'm lucky. I'm unfortunate. Not disappointed.
Any opinions on another Elmore Leonard LA adaptation, Get Shorty? Do you know what just happened right now? As I said fucking Get Shorty, I started kicking myself under the table because I fucking love Get Shorty, and it didn't cross my mind that it was set in LA.
It actually crossed my mind.
I love it.
I know I've seen Be Cool. I've seen parts of Get Shorty.
Be Cool, not good. Get Shorty's fantastic.
I know Get Shorty is meant to be really good, but I haven't finished it. I saw it, but it was one of those very like rush watch for a Rushmore, so it's not been able to really be taken in. But I remember seeing Be Cool in the cinema. I mean, it had The Rock in.
Real talk, I've got another fucking 2 lists on here that I could do. We're going to come back to LA at some point, aren't we, AJ?
Let's progress before people like, we're done with the Movie Mount Rushmore because it's just LA centric. But
it literally is centric. But yeah, I could very easily do another fucking 2 or 3 lists in LA without blinking. Now you've added Get Shorty and The Long Goodbye in there. It's like, I'm not even trying anymore. Yes, Pedro Santos says Gene Hackman was, as usual, so good in Get Shorty.
Gene Hackman, he's a treasure.
He's amazing. So yeah, Jackie Brown was my 5. Your 5, please, AJ.
Right. This was in our Josh Brolin episode.
Oh,
this
throwback.
Is the Coen brothers. I know it's not popular amongst a lot of people, but I do.
I know where you're going, and I agree.
Hail Caesar.
Damn right.
Yeah. I remember having a lot of fun with this film. Fun that I didn't expect. There were times at first, again, sometimes you overdo it on films, you know, when you try to cram all these in. And I thought I wouldn't, but there was this magic about
this for next week.
Oh, don't. That.
Wait for next week.
I've never been more unprepared and tried to prepare myself and can't do it.
Preach.
I'm legitimately, I'm still not sure if there is going to be an episode because I'm in a fucked position. But
unfuck yourself because we are doing this.
Yeah, but I'm talking about it might just be a load of shots on my end, just going, well, haven't seen it. I wanted to, haven't seen it. Like I'm trying my absolute best,
bro. The way we're doing it next week, we're just going to take a shot each time we mention a movie. We're not going to do the whole shot each time you haven't seen it because
it's going to be a really interesting episode. But yeah,
spoiler, it's a drunk Rushmore next week, but we'll talk about that later.
But yeah, God, I sent it in text. Guys, all of you currently watching, I'm being a shit friend, a very shit friend. I'm not here to deny it. I put it in text yesterday. Do you know what? Just before we press record, me and Nick had a very, call it a game of snap. We both had the same problem kick off before we press record. So my mind wasn't in a normal AJ mode, right? And then there was the internet on top of it. I would like everybody watching right now to please in the words of Roman Reigns, acknowledge that this gentleman right here, who I have known for 20 plus years, one of my homeboys, we don't need to be blood to call each other brothers, right? That gentleman there, that fucking G, that guy that I will say is my bro, this man who made me his best man, this man who made me the godfather to his daughter, a man I am very proud to call my best friend, my bro, celebrated his birthday yesterday. So I please request everybody throw up a quick happy birthday to this man. Even if you're on VOD Squad, even if you're on Pod Squad, please wish Nico Lurot, aka Daddy Goo, aka Double V, a very happy birthday. I need to drop that out there like that.
Thanks.
Sorry, had to put
respect, brother. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, right. Where was I? Cohen movie. So I send those up, guys. Let me get back.
Cohen brothers.
We're talking Hell Caesar. Yeah, so I saw it the once, and as I said, it was a bit of a drain, but there was some magic of this film that got to me, and I think it was the old Hollywood system that I loved, and I think Brolin as we're talking fucking Get Shorty, as a Hollywood fixer just works. The connection he found with all of these different angles in the madness of Hollywood as a cover-up, as a, again, fixer, if we had to cover it up, protect in all these different ways, I thought was magic. George Clooney as this actor who's way long gone past his prime and still thinks he's the greatest thing ever. Channing Tatum as this young up-and-comer who's putting into worlds he didn't want to. Even this weird musical scene that I didn't think I'd appreciate that encapsulated me in the way he delivered it. It was all
and then sinks awesome. Just like his career.
Yeah, like everything about it. There are some analogies that were too much for me because I don't look at films that way sometimes, but I still was like, this is awesome. Like, I may not understand, like, why'd you do that? But I love it. That's what I loved about this film. Hell Caesar was one of those masterpieces I didn't know I would appreciate as much as I did. I need to revisit it, so I'd love to go.
Hell, he's throwing up the M word too. Look at him. Masterpiece.
It is. There are times when you look back at something that pays attention. Ever since we've done biopics, I know there's a part of me that has learned to appreciate the history of real life, even though you can take your creative liberties. And if you appreciate film, again, go back to one that's been on both of our lists before, Singing in the Rain, showing you the history of film. If you really appreciate film, you're going to take in something that shows you the history of film, you know? And I feel that this is something as well. It could be as far-fetched as possible. I fully appreciate that. But I had a great time with it. And I can be very hit and miss with the Coens. This one is a hit for me.
But I'm with you. I think the Coens are hit and miss. There's genius there. There's no fucking doubt. You don't make Fargo and not be called a genius. But, like, they are hit and miss. I completely agree with that. Oh, brother, where art thou? Not for me. Not for me. That.
Oh, so while we're at it, so Gavin, guess where I was going? Birthday celebrations. Ibrahim, woohoo! Happy birthday, Nico. Pedro, happy birthday, Nico. Hope you had a great day. Mixed Memorabilia, happy birthday, Nico. Hey, Nico. Happy blessings, my amigo. Sorry, I had to do it again. Just blood in, blood out. Just had to come back. Gavin, happy birthday, Mr. L. Riri Thomas, happy birthday, Nico. Here's to many more. And Pedro came back with, considering the Coens' take on the film industry and LA in particular, Barton Fink was mild. I need to see Barton Fink. It is on my list of films to see. I'm not going to lie. And I don't think he has had a haircut, Ibrahim. I know people keep doing this week in, week out. It's still there.
Still there.
Yeah.
But I just want to go back to Mixed Memorabilia's comment here. Jackie Brown for me is an absolute masterpiece that gets better with each watch. The way Tarantino directed De Niro was mind-blowing. I think Tarantino can get Depp his Oscar if they work together. Yeah,
that'd be an interesting dynamic, you know. I've never
Depp
thought
and
of
Tarantino.
That would.
I'd love to see that. That's a great shout.
That would be a really good film.
I mean, we are playing in a world of good actor works with good director here. It's not that far a stretch, but I would like to see their dynamic together. No, definitely.
You know, there are some directors. It's just that their style of film and their style of acting may not match. Like again, Johnny has done some stinkers. That one where he was like some kind of vampire. Like, didn't work. But yeah,
you know why he made some stinkers? Fucking with them white girls.
Again, I don't want to enter into.
No, do. Dude, the fucking case is closed. Like,
No. I'm not talking that. I'm talking about pre-pod before I press record. That's what I was talking about. I'm just like, preach, bro. Yeah. But anyway, we move on. We move on.
Oh yeah. Cool. So that was your 5, yeah?
Yeah.
My 4 we're not going to spend long on. It was your number 1 from last week. My 4 is Collateral. I adore this film. I love seeing Tom Cruise as a villain. Every time he's a villain, he's good. Be it in this or be it in Tropic Thunder. He's good as a villain. Is he a villain as Lestat?
Oh, come on.
Is Lestat a villain?
Lestat's not a villain.
I don't know.
Practically screws over Brad Pitt and everyone else around him. But
then they become besties.
Do they? Then what happens at the end? What does he do to good old Christian Slater?
Bites him. He's a vampire.
Of course. You've just told the guy the entire story. There was a bond of we'll let it be. Fuck you. No, he's a prick. Lestat is not a good guy.
But he gave him the choice that he never had. It's such a badass last line, isn't it? I'm going to give you the choice I never had. What, dead or undead? Fucker. Asshole. I love that film. I need to rewatch Interview with a Vampire. It's so fucking good. Oh, but yeah. Okay, fine. I'll give you Lestat the villain. Brad Pitt as a villain is great. Lestat, fucking
Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise is great as a villain. Lestat, Les Grossman. What's his name in this? Collateral. What's his name in this?
I can't remember, to be honest.
It's a really good white boy name. Bear with me. I actually want to look this up. It's a really good name he's got in this. I'm annoyed I can't remember it.
Vincent was.
It is Vincent.
Oh yeah, he was Vincent.
Good white boy name. I told you, Vincent.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, he's great in it. Jamie Foxx is great too, but it's Cruise who's a scene stealer in this. And I'll say what I said last week. The way Michael Mann shoots LA is a thing of unadulterated fucking beauty. The greens and the pinks and the oranges that he captures in The City of Angels is quite the thing to behold. I love this film. Your number 4.
Before we do, Riri Thomas has made my day. Also forgot to mention, you guys will be happy. I watched Crash for the first time and pretty much enjoyed it. Not perfect, but great performances and a solid story. 8 out of 10. That's all I'm asking for. I am not saying Crash has to be a 10 out of 10. I will never bat for that. Riri, again, I don't ever put it as a spoiler. What did you think of the invisible cloak moment? That's the AJ heartbreaker. But
what do you think of my little hand here, AJ? It's got little again. It's not that little. Look at that. It's like a Donald Trump hand.
God bless you, Gavin. I'm with Riri. Yeah.
Yes, guys.
And Pedro says the digital cameras used in Collateral certainly didn't help it age well. I've not watched Collateral in a while.
Nor me.
I know my brother was watching it the other day, but I don't know. He didn't really feed back on like its age.
I've got nothing wrong with digital as long as listen. It sounds very patronizing to say, considering it's what I do for a living. If you do not set your camera properly, yes, the footage will not age well. And the amount of movies I've seen shot on digital where it's like, I can see what you've done wrong there, and you are paid more money than me. This isn't fair. Like,
yeah. That is also a frustration. Right. So that was your number 4?
See.
Okay. Right. Let's go to the punt from earlier.
The Disaster Artist. Everything about this film is fucking fascinating, isn't it? From how it was made, based off of arguably the worst film, the fucking worst film ever made, right? But it's the story of how the worst film ever made actually got made. No, behave.
Sorry, I'm being a prick. I actually
it can't be that bad.
No, it's not. It's not. As I said, it's a brilliant story. Look, if I was to
Nothing
draw
can be
it,
as
I might have
bad as
gone to hippopotamus or something.
then again, I don't know, man. Fucking hey Cinderella, you better get another fella. Does sound very bad. As what a story, Mark.
I'm just taking the piss because I could. No.
Do you know
No.
there's something J.J. Abrams says at the beginning of The Disaster Artist, which has always stuck with me? He says, yeah, we all laugh at the room and we all laugh at Tommy Wiseau, but we're all chasing what he has managed to do, which is make your film relevant for over a fucking decade.
Yeah. I mean,
JJ was like, this movie, The Room came out, what, 2004 or something? Like, it's been a moment since that film came out, and we're still talking about it, and they're still showing it in theaters, and he still is making money from it going in theaters. So laugh all you want, but the joke's on us.
Yeah.
So set out to make a movie, and I've got to make the greatest movie ever. 20 years on, motherfucker, we are still talking about this fucking film.
Do you know the thing about Crash? And this is why The Disaster Artist for me. Sorry. I just read Riri's comment to the whole cloak and crying, and Crash was in my head. And this film is a crash in itself. But the thing about The Room is The Disaster Artist enhanced my appreciation for this film. Because I remember watching The Room and I was like, what the fuck? No. And again, I've never watched The Room twice, yeah?
Brother, come on. You're not a stoner though, are you?
I was going to go to the Prince Charles Theatre and watch it, cinema and watch it. So we may well be. And, oh, God. Andy may even join us for that. Who knows? We might even rent the cinema and get everyone to come along with us. But watching the making of it and the way James Franco becomes Wiseau, and watching one, because I watched them back to back, and I was like, you are nailing this so well. I was just like, oh man, like it made me appreciate the film. And it makes no sense when I saw it as a film. But I love now seeing the psyche of what made it be this. This is what I loved. And this is why The Disaster Artist is one of those films that I have nothing but love for. Like,
it's amazing.
I remember watching it. I was just like, you're fucking amazing. This is gold.
It's levels of meta that you just can't fucking fathom. So here's Dave Franco, a very good actor. He's acting being a bad actor.
James.
No, I'm talking about Dave here.
Oh yeah, because Dave is also about yeah.
Dave is Greg Sestero.
Yeah.
It's that famous scene in The Room where Tommy's wife is seducing, or girlfriend is seducing Greg, and he's sort of touching her. What are you doing? This isn't right. Every single tonal intonation is wrong. But you've got this. How is this for meta? Dave Franco, very good actor, is acting as a very bad actor, Greg Sestero, but is doing it so convincingly that he's good. Like, what the fuck?
Draw the map. The explanation makes sense, but I know exactly what
the fuck.
You're so good at playing bad
that you're actually awesome. Like, yeah. Because he had to act that bad to be that good and convincing. It's like, oh my god, this movie, like, everything about this film is brilliant. And what I love is that it really was about like the production of the movie. You only saw bits of the movie at the end, and I'll hazard a guess there was a lot of people in that theater who probably went and watched The Room for the first time off the back of seeing The Disaster Artist.
Could well be, yeah.
No, because I know for a fact when I was watching it in the cinema, there were people, when they play like the snippets at the end of them doing the actual scenes from The Room and they're being played next to each other. There were people in the room. I audibly heard them go, "What the fuck?" I was like, "Oh, you haven't seen it? Okay, no, it's real."
Yeah.
Oh, hi, you're my favorite customer. Okay, bye, doggy. Bye. And the fucking florist who says, "Oh, hi, I didn't recognize you." He looks like a fucking vampire. How did you not recognize the motherfucker? Are you? Nobody looks like that. Like,
Oh man.
oh my god! And that song, "A rose is a rose." Like, what? What is? And the weird mother, the fucking mother who intermittently comes in and goes, "I've seen the doctor. It's definitely breast cancer. Okay, bye." Like, what the fuck? What are you doing to me? Stop hurting my head.
The whole film is just weird. And again, the creepy kid in the beginning, like they're about to get down and dirty. Can I stay? You're like, what the fuck are you on about?
I like watching you guys. Like, what are you doing? Oh, no, Danny, we want to be alone right now. Like, I just remember this one girl, and she would get it so often. And this guy found out, and he just started beating on her so much that it deformed her face. What a story, Mark. Don't laugh. You strange man. I did not hit her. Why do they all say that? I did not hit her. I did not. Oh, hi, Mark. What the fuck? I love that film. I love that film so much.
Guys, honestly, if you have not seen The Room, it needs to be seen.
It's okay. Is that a film every cinephile must watch, AJ?
Yes.
It kind of is, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh shit.
Weirdly enough, yeah.
Oh dear. Well.
Sorry. But yeah,
Oh,
no, the madness behind this film is to be appreciated. Mixed memorabilia, asked if I've seen Audition as yet. Sadly not. It was going to be in our one-word film movie. Just time is just not on the side about that. Pedro brings up Edward. That is another film that is so high on my list of films to see.
Oh, Edward's fucking great.
Okay, cool. Right, that was my number 4. Over to you.
It's a recent one, AJ, and I'm bringing my boy Damien Chazelle to the party. Yes, he's done Whiplash. Yes, he's done La La Land. Wasn't crazy about First Night, but oh my fucking god, he got back on track with this because my number 3 is Babylon.
I just want to have another chance to see.
It's so fucking good. It is so fucking good. Like the opening shot of an elephant taking a shit on a man is almost slapstick.
Sorry. First, Damien Chazelle, First Night.
First Man.
Oh, First. Oh, sorry. Okay.
Definitely
yeah,
not First Night.
that was. Yeah.
First Man was meh.
It just lacks depth. I know what you mean, but yeah, let's talk Babylon.
So, Babylon is literally, in few words, it is Singing in the Rain meets Martin Scorsese. It's Singing in the Rain with lots of coke and lots of sex. It literally focuses on that period where Hollywood is transitioning. He references Singing in the Rain all the fucking time in this film. Like, not as a you exist in the same universe, but as a kind of tip of the hat thing. Like, it's Easter egg city, this movie. And it's just so fucking well balanced. It is an exercise in balance, this film, because okay, you think the party in Project X, the party in Project X was impressive. The opening party in this film is all one shot, and it's one of the craziest things I've ever seen. Ever. This 60s drug-fueled party of absolute, not even 60s, I think earlier than that, but just absolute excess in every single department. Just money, coke, sex, elephants, like fucking elephants in the party. Like, you're like, but you know what? In the scope of what you're showing me, this doesn't seem unfitting. But it's how we cope, kind of like George Clooney's character in Hail Caesar, how we cope with knowing when our time is up. Do we slink away? Do we cope with it? Do we retire humbly? Do we try and fight for former glories? Like, it's, again, a universal truth, irrespective of whether you're an actor or whatever career you're in. The universal truth is you need to know when your time is up. You need bald people. This is going to sound like a very, very strange analogy.
No, I know what you mean. I know.
Don't do the Bobby Charlton. Don't do the Zinedine Zidane. Shave it. Just shave it. Everyone can see you're bald. Shave it. John Cena. Shave your head, brother.
Balding, though. Cena, I believe, is balding. You know, it's the Hulk
Cena
Hogan
either needs to shave it or get a hair transplant.
But, you know, it's the Hulk Hogan where it's literally just the circumference of your head. Like, it's not even at the top anymore. What the hell are you doing with that? That's when it's give up. You can't even do a comb over because there's not enough length, or that, you know, that's when it's like give up. I know what you mean, though. So there are times when you just need to know that it's not the right way. Just get rid of that shit.
So there's that. And it's about knowing when your hair's time, whatever. It's having the humility to take a step back, look in the mirror, and know when your time is up. And that's what the movie focuses on as far as Brad Pitt is concerned, because he is the high roller. He is the big movie star. And, you know, his time comes in this movie, and it's how he processes that. Margot Robbie, directly contrasting that, is the new girl on the town. She's the star on the rise. She's the one everybody wants to work with. She's the new it girl. And it's how one person comes to terms with finding this new fame and how they cope with that. So that's what I mean. It's this balance, this constant balance that's going around. And Gavin sums it up perfectly here. Babylon raised a smile when the title appeared on screen 30 minutes in. That's not an exaggeration.
That's actually really cool.
And then you kind of go, oh shit, so I'm in for quite an Odysseus ride here. It's quite something. And I'm with Riri. I'm baffled how this got so many negative reviews. Babylon flopped. It was a major flop, which is, to me, ridiculous. Like, the movie is certified. It is great. Pedro says, didn't care for Babylon, appreciate what the intentions were, though it failed in the execution for me. Don't agree. That, again, difference of opinion. Babylon, for me, was a resounding success. Yeah.
Cool.
Beg to differ. Bald men can easily go the Robert Duvall route. Okay. I'm talking about Bobby Charlton, bruv.
Yeah, Robert Duvall does only quite well, but yeah.
Robert Duvall does the look quite well.
That little, yeah, where it's this weird comb over.
Do the fucking comb over. Shave that shit. Shave that shit. And bald's good. I'm not shitting on bald people at all. The bald look is all good by me. Like, they've got no prejudice against bald, but yeah. And Ibrahim Al-Mala says, oh, Babylon, that track is still playing in my ears ever since. Yes, AJ, this is why it's good. Because, you know, Damien Chazelle's got that freaking affinity for jazz music in all of his movies, right? Oh, boy. There's some good music in this film, man. I'll tell you.
Cool.
Over, you're number 3.
Coincidentally, Damien Chazelle. La La Land.
You make me so happy right now.
I mean, it was on the list. It has been on the list, and last week it just missed out because I was like, "Oh shit, I didn't put it in." When we had it, because when it was meant to be on a 2-week thing, and I was like, "Definitely be in next week," and created a new list. And it's one of those things that your affinity for La La Land will always outdo mine. If I was going to talk about a different, like, in film rankings, I could even possibly have Friday slightly higher for what it meant to me from how long and how many times I watched it. No, just bear with me. But the actual story and the way it's delivered is something to be appreciated. I'm not saying I'm going to bang on and every song and dance in that film was something for me, but it's a wonderful, excuse me, oh my God, that didn't feel that coming. It's a wonderful story. It truly just delivers. It doesn't give you the ending you wanted, but this is life. And that's the way I look at it. You know, it's something you said before I'd actually seen it and stuff like that. But it's I don't know what people are looking for. You're talking of two people who are chasing a dream. And again, maybe, and dare I say this, we can appreciate it more because week in, week out, there is this podcast. Week in, every other week out, there is a wrestling podcast. Week in, week out, twice a week, there is a Daddy Goo video. That when you have that, dare I say, artistic view, that creative flair, the challenge is it has with your personal life. Trust me, guys. I mean, do you know what? Let's just disclose it now. I was getting headache in my ear 2 seconds before I press record. Right? People who don't understand what's going on. So then you now get to learn and appreciate that sacrifice, that touch more. And I'm not saying you have to be in that world, but I think that's why it resonates to us in a way that it may not to others. And again, you could be a creative in any different field. I'm not saying you have to do a pod. You could literally be an actual artist taking a paintbrush. You know, whatever your passion is and following it to try and make it, and the sacrifices you make, you can actually sit back and appreciate La La Land a bit more and be like, that sucks, but I get it. And I think that's the takeaway from La La Land. It's like, yeah, you could have gone the other way. And yes, I've seen it and I was like, if only they did. I was so pissed off when I saw Emma Stone with kids. I was like, why the fuck? I hate breaking up my family. I was like, if only the kids wasn't there, they could get back. Sorry, spoiler territory for anyone who's not seen the film. But it's that route, you know, and that's, yeah, no, it's a nice film. And if you would like more, go back to 2 weeks where it was on Nico's list.
Yeah, it's good. It's real good. Here's to the ones who dream, brother. I love that shit. Oh, Riri, we have a wrestling fan.
Hey, thank you.
Comment says, I love WWE. We'll tune into that wrestling pod, you lot. New Japan Pro Wrestling is also amazing. Preach, my friend. And AEW. I'm the AEW guy.
I've always said it, spoiler, blood type WWE. That's just who I've been. And I don't hate. There was a very, very good pay-per-view that went on. But Riri, yeah, it's Ministry of Wrestling and MOW News on Twitter. But yeah, Ministry of Wrestling, check it out. You could do with the subscription and the follows, so I appreciate on that. And yeah, we'll connect. We'll connect. Yeah. Pedro, you just said something that was meant to be on my list. Fuck. I don't even want to put it up because if we bring it up next time, I'll screw it. I'm going to put it up. Tangerine. Shit. 3 weeks. 3 weeks. I keep forgetting to put it up. Huh?
Snap, crackle, pop. I thought you were going to have that.
Shit. And Gavin says, yeah, Tangerine was okay for me. The consistent conflicts between characters got slightly annoying. Listen, Tangerine, I'm not going to say Tangerine.
Your little headline, by the way, AJ.
Thank you. Thank you very much, bro.
Yeah, Riri, if you look at AJ now, Ministry of Wrestling on YouTube, we have, I'm on there with him as well. Well, actually, we're doing a show hopefully right after this, and that should be airing later this week.
Yeah. Hopefully, sometime tomorrow, if not first, but probably tomorrow. I'm trying to get it out for tomorrow. Record it, energy dependent. But yeah, Tangerine is not going to be top of the list for me, right? It's a great
shot on iPhone, isn't it, Tangerine?
Yeah. iPhone 5, I believe it was. And that's the respect I give to it because do you know what? It's quite tangential to the whole La La Land story. That is chasing a dream. You do not have the equipment to produce a film in the way that most people can. You don't have a Red One and a this, that, and the other. You've taken your iPhone and put a film together. The respect I have for that filmmaker, yeah, maximum respect. So, and that's why it will always have respect from my end. But I won't go further because, hey, who knows? There could be LA Part 4. Not next week, but we go on. Okay, your number 2, sir.
I take exception with Pedro's comment here, but it's fine.
I'll read it. I'll read it. Should I put it up?
Go for it.
Hey, having kids is a cheap narrative device to make it simpler for audiences to accept / understand them not getting together. Had she not have kids and they still didn't get together, more come. I agree. Listen, she could have still left him. She could have still left her husband for it. Like, there is no blueprint as to what it is. What's meant to be is meant to be. You could have been complex and it could have just been You could listen. There are films. I will bring it right home. 8 Mile. 8 Mile. It sounds stupid as fuck, but it's true. There is that look between Brittany Murphy, R.I.P., and Rabbit, which literally has the middle finger. They could have been perfect together, but they knew that moment had gone. So yeah, you're right. It can work. It could go both ways. You don't have to throw kids into it, but it was there. So, yeah. I don't think it simplified the film. It just showed how far each person has moved on. I don't think it's one or the other. Cool.
Yeah, because people have never left anyone when they have kids. Anyway, my number 2, you weirdly brought it up earlier, but just in passing, and it's a film you introduced me to, and I hold it in very high regard. Double Indemnity.
Oh, you yeah. I mentioned, yeah, fucking hell. What a twat. Yeah, that is. Why did I forget that's LA? I don't know why it feels like New York to me, but yeah, it is LA.
No, it's very LA.
Yeah.
This movie is fantastic. The OG noir film. The OG noir film, where it all kind of got its vibes and inspirations from. It's such a simple setup and premise, isn't it? Fucking insurance salesman comes over to Hot Femme Fatale's house and they plot together to kill hubby and make money. The end.
Yeah.
Why does it need to be more complex than that? The what isn't what's interesting. The how.
Yeah.
The how. And to give away the how would be to deprive you of one of the all-time great moments of noir filmmaking. I have a feeling, not our audience, live audience so much, because y'all are fucking switched on when it comes to these old films. Maybe some of the pod listeners won't have seen Double Indemnity. It's an old one. I really, really recommend, if you haven't seen it, it's not a long movie either. It's like an hour and a half long. That's the good thing about these old movies. They know how to tell a fucking good story quickly.
Yeah.
I really recommend you guys check out Double Indemnity if you haven't, because it is quite brilliant.
I could work with that. Yeah. Right. My number 2, an actor who's near and dear to you.
No.
Rewatched it because I know we watched anyway, a long time ago I watched it, but I rewatched it recently when we were doing LA. Robin Williams, 1 Hour Photo.
Do you know this is the Robin Williams movie I haven't seen?
I think it's Disney Plus. If it's not Disney Plus, it's BBC iPlayer. I'm sure it's Disney Plus has got it.
Ain't gonna happen between now and next week, brother. I can
No. I'm just saying it's about is all I'm saying. I'm not saying anything else. I'm just saying it's about. Yeah. No. Next week is way. No, I shiver at the thought of next week. Shiver.
Yes.
Honestly, normally there's a few go-tos.
Nope. Not here.
This is one and done. But 1 Hour Photo. There's something about 1 Hour Photo that's really. Do you know what threw me back this time? And I can't remember when I watched it before. It wasn't a Robin Williams episode that I brought it up. But watching it now it's the whole process of just processing pictures. We don't do that anymore. Everything's just. I know the world you're in. Yes, you need a higher quality camera, and you probably have developed some pictures. But the good old days of just going into your snappy snaps or your boots and getting your
snappy
pictures.
snaps, good throwback.
You know what I mean? Yeah, just getting your pictures developed and stuff like that. And this is what this film shows. And this is one of those where it's kind of hard to remake it because it's Robin Williams literally mentally adopting this family that he gets on with because he just likes what it is, and the story that they tell through their pictures just means something to him, and it becomes very uncomfortable that he he duplicates the pictures. He takes these pictures home. He starts to feel like he's involved with this family when he has not. They just see him as the guy. He's Cy from the Minute Mart. It's not the Minute Mart, but it's essentially like your Asda or something. It's like a big department supermarket, and it's got all your little departments, and he's the guy at the photo store. And there is this part where the son, I think, was celebrating a birthday or just finished celebrating a birthday. He's like, I feel sorry for Cy. His mum's like, why? She's like, he just seems lonely, And she's just like, you don't need to worry about Sai. He's probably got a girlfriend somewhere. Like, she just pictures like, no, he's fine. He's a nice guy, but don't worry about it. But no, he doesn't. Sai just lives this very isolated life where he is imagining himself in this family's life, and it leads into stalking. It starts to follow into stuff. Then he starts to get information that he shouldn't. Something he finds out in his profession that leads to find out that this 2.4 family isn't as great as it first looks, and there's something going on there. And then it starts to lead into him getting in trouble at work, and he then, I don't want to say what happens when he gets into trouble there, and it develops into something else, and it gets a bit uncomfortable because this obsession gets into deep territory, and it's weird, it's dark, it's kind of uncomfortable, and it was a different side of Robin Williams,
Robin Williams
still
does,
cool, but creepy.
Robin Williams does creepy very well. People never give him credit for that. I would have always loved to have seen him as like a Riddler.
I think he was meant to be a Riddler.
There you go. That would have made the world.
I think he was meant to be the Riddler had Burton continued. I think Batman Forever was meant to have Robin Williams as the Riddler.
That would have worked. That brain of his firing on 1,000,000 miles an hour. That would have been amazing.
Yeah.
Well, I'll need to get on this one, mate. I can't add much having not seen it, but yeah.
No, it's a good film.
I don't have a worst this week, do you?
This kind of jumped into my head, kind of along the same time as I'd done Disaster Artist. It was James Franco, and it's a film.
Oh, don't.
Should I just leave it? I don't have to have a worst.
Say it, but I'm going to disagree with you hard. I know what you're going to do.
This is the end.
You're a dickhead. You're a dickhead.
I could not. I looked at it and I was like, this isn't funny. And it just...
the end is funny.
I just couldn't. Okay, guys. Well, before Nico announces his number one, start dropping your Rushmores in. Start dropping your Rushmores or your top 10s so we can get into swaying territory.
And please do remember, please do like the video if you haven't already. And guys, just before we reveal our number ones, if you do like this type of content, please do remember that you can head on over to buymeacoffee.com/movie dudes, and for literally less than the cost of your daily Starbucks, you can support the channel and help us grow, because the money we make, we will be investing back in buying new software, new cameras, new stuff to make the streams better for you. XYZ stuff. Like Skrull in Thor Ragnarok. Behold my stuff. So yeah, buymeacoffee.com/movie dudes. Links to that is in the description below. Thank you, guys. My number one, AJ. My number one. Keeping it classic, I'm gonna go Sunset Boulevard.
I've heard of this. Must admit, it was obvious I've heard of it. Never seen it.
So we're keeping very much on trend with some themes that Babylon has explored, that Hail Caesar has explored. This is kind of the OG. So this washed up movie star who still has delusions of grandeur. Those delusions are added to when someone comes wanting to do a story about her and doing a write-up about her. She feels the need to go on this mad proving who she still is, not just to herself, but to this man too. And ensues this weird game of emotional blackmail, toxic codependence, and delusions of grandeur to the highest degree, with one of the best cinema end line, one of the best last lines in a movie ever. Like, you've got lines in Some Like It Hot, like, well, nobody's perfect. Great last line. Or you've got lines like at the end of Good Will Hunting, I got to go see about a girl. Great last line.
Such touching like that. Yeah.
Great last line. This one, I'm ready for my close-up, Mr. DeMille. That is a super famous line. This is where it comes from. It is an amazing movie, AJ. Really, really a classic you need to get you familiar with if you haven't seen it.
Cool. Cool. Yeah, I'll put it on the list. It's one of those classics that you've heard of for the longest while, but
Of course, and it's fucking great. It's kind of a noir, kind of a noir.
kind of.
It lacks the detective element, but the detective is kind of reframed by being a journalist slash
I don't know
reporter.
why, and I don't know why. Yeah, and you might tell me miles apart, very similar. Your description of it, for some reason, I just get. I don't know why. Shades of Streetcar Named Desire. Don't know
Yes,
why.
yes,
Okay.
hugely.
Cool. All right, awesome.
You're number one.
Right. I don't know if you've seen or even heard of this film. I happened to have stumbled across it, and it works. If I said to you, and it's not wrestling related, RKO 281, do you know what that is?
I know the first part. It's
RKO
Orson Welles. It's Orson Welles' production company, RKO Pictures, isn't it?
Well, I don't think it was his production company, but it's the company he worked with. Yeah.
It's the production company. It's the studio. It's the production company that released Citizen Kane.
And that's exactly what RKO 281 is. It's the actual production name of Citizen Kane. And it's Liev Schreiber and John Malkovich in a film about the making of Citizen Kane.
Oh, that's
and
cool.
The madness that came into it. I had no idea some of the madness and the cancellation that this film nearly faced. Because I was always, when I read about Citizen Kane, I was under the impression it was semi-autobiographical based on Orson Welles. No. It's actually based on this media tycoon that was around that Welles had met and had a kind of falling out with. He just found the guy ultra stuck up, and he was like, "This guy's always making stuff about other people and talking about other people. Why don't we talk about him?" And they come up with this whole story to develop again the whole thing of Citizen Kane. You know, it's how it's built, even down to the definition of why they use Rosebud. You know, absolutely insane. It was like, ooh, like they've dug so deep into this guy's life and just screwed him. And it was like, are you aware of who you're fucking with? And the challenges that I don't want to spoil it for anyone, but it's how far he's willing to take that. The guy nearly crashed Hollywood as a feedback of how dare you expose my life behind it. And it's Liev Schreiber as Orson Welles just going like, we're going to do this. There's that shot where Orson Welles is playing Citizen Kane, where it's a really low shot looking up, and it's about like, I think everybody hates me. It's two people in a room during his campaign. What he done in order to make that shot happen. And it was just like, the more I was watching this film, I was like, this is a fucking hidden gem I've never heard about. Like,
no,
it was such a mad film that looked at it, and there was one line. It's nothing. To me, it was a low blow, and you'll hear it if it hits you the way it hits me. It did. But it's when this tycoon is having an argument with his lady friend, who's played by oh god, what's her name? Melanie Griffith. Is it Melanie Griffith? Yeah. And sorry, I do need to put it back up. Melanie Griffith. It was her. Yeah, I blanked.
Oh shit, James Cromwell's in this too. That's nice.
Yeah, and she literally calls the tycoon Mr. Kane, and you're like, oh fuck, you went deep. Like you knew that would hurt the guy at that time. Brilliant film. Honestly, a brilliant film that showed again the Hollywood system, how Hollywood nearly crashed based on this film. How daring it went. It was great journey.
Another reason for it to be considered the greatest film of all time, then.
Again,
I know it's become trendy. Kane has become trendy to hate on. Kane's got the Avatar fever to it now. It's become so good that people are like, it's not that good. So, yeah, it is. It really is.
I'm very mixed when it comes to Citizen Kane. I watched it and I was like, it's just and it's weird for someone who enjoys biopics. I was like, it's just the story of a man. That's what it felt like to me, you know. Okay, nice touch as to what Rosebud is. I get it, but it was like, Again, if you haven't seen Citizen Kane, people, I would advise you watch it first before trying to look for RKO 281. Just
for sure.
I don't want to spoil what Rosebud is to you. It's not Disaster Artist and The Room. It's not that closely linked. but I would still the making of the film kind of came about. But yeah,
that sounds awesome, mate. I don't know if it should go onto a Rushmore.
I wouldn't do it because I'll be honest, I didn't even hear of it myself. I don't know what chance it would have in a Rushmore.
Yeah, right.
No, I'm real.
I mean, Mixed Memorabilia hasn't heard of it. Look forward to watching it.
So, if you're in America, you may be in better luck because I believe it's an HBO production. So I believe you might be able to find it on
TV movie, is it, AJ?
I don't know if it is. I'm not sure if it could be. I haven't even had enough time to do the research, if I'm honest with you. This new work schedule is not as easy as it used to be, and that's why next week scares the fuck out of me. But we digress. I just found it a great film.
Right. Sorry. As I said, guys, fighting fatherhood here. Pedro Santos' list is The Long Goodbye, Bread and Roses, Repo Man, Shortcuts, Barton Fink, LA Story, Get Shorty, Sunset Boulevard, Magnolia, The Player, Mixed Memorabilia picks, Jackie Brown, End of Watch, great shout that with End of Watch, Heat, and South Central, Gavin Mann, Pretty Woman, La La Land, Demolition Man, Speed, Crash, Wink for you, AJ, Training Day, Chippendale, LA Confidential, White Men Can't Jump, Justice for Woody, AJ, Justice for Woody. Followed also by Seven Psychopaths, which also has Woody. And Riri Thomas says, My Rushmore, Sunset Boulevard, Jackie Brown, The Disaster Artist, Hail Caesar.
Okay.
Right. Okay, 0281 runtime is 84 minutes. I see why you watched it, AJ.
Was it 84? Do you know what? It felt slightly. Yeah. It was about that time, yeah.
What?
Right.
It was that time.
Yeah.
It's not an opinion.
It wasn't over, but you got to remember that what's really annoying with me is that even though it's 84 minutes, I watch it while traveling, so sometimes the film still gets cut, and then it feels like it's over the time that it is because of the way I have to watch films nowadays. But yeah, great film, great time.
Okay,
right. So
Rushmore. What are we doing?
So bear with me one sec. Let me just get this. Sorry, I'm on my two.
Sunset Boulevard's a classic, but I also think it's got enough fame that it could go on there.
So knowing that Quentin has definitely qualified already, we can't. Should we really put Jackie Brown in again, and then it means two Quentin Tarantino? Right.
Nope.
I'm glad we agreed on that. That also eliminates
Once Upon a Time. Yes.
Yeah.
How about also
Disaster Artist?
Yeah, I could toy with a Disaster Artist. But you haven't given me feedback on Sunset Boulevard, though.
No, because I agree with. I mean, it's one of those that you said it's a classic, but how would it fare? I mean, it's hard for me to.
No, I think it would fare well because it's famous. That's what I'm saying.
Okay,
about Sunset Boulevard.
That's fine.
It's super famous. Riddle me this. How about Lethal Weapon?
Well, we've had an action one in each round, so it seems only fair.
Okay. What do you want to go in last?
I mean,
do you want to put your Collateral in there?
I was tempted to bat for that. Do you want
to go Collateral over Lethal Weapon, or do you want to have both? Because a part of me thinks maybe take Lethal Weapon out, put Collateral in because it was my 4 and your 1 from last week, and then maybe add Boogie Nights in.
Boogie Nights, or would you like to put your movie in there? Because it was your numbers, what, 2 or 3 last on week 1. It's my number 3 now. La La Land.
I'm always afraid with the La La Land. I'm always afraid with the La La Land because you get the cynical motherfuckers and you get the dreamers. Yeah. It's a Marmite movie. It always scares me that it's going to get hurt. But do you know what? Yeah, fuck it. I actually feel La La Land could win this one. So fuck yeah, let's put La La Land in.
Cool.
Lethal Weapon, you're going out. Collateral is going in. And La La Land. Yes, go on, La La Land. Take this one.
Cool.
Then it's going to get fucked by Pulp Fiction in the final.
But let's be honest, Pulp Fiction is probably the take. Was it Terminator 2 in the first one?
Yeah.
In my heart, I would say Terminator 2 over Pulp Fiction. I still believe Pulp Fiction will fuck Terminator 2 so bad.
Pulp Fiction's winning this whole thing, bro.
Yeah. Like, it will destroy. It will destroy Terminator 2. I just feel it.
Pedro wanted Boogie Nights in there. Mixed memorabilia. We're not putting Jackie Brown in because I don't want polls to have Tarantino movies every single time.
It won't be right.
Boogie Nights or Collateral? I got it as your number one and my 4. Come on, we got to go Collateral.
And La La Land was a joint number 3 or something, man.
Yeah. Now, La La Land's staying.
No, my thing is, and again, this is just based on the fact that we both haven't seen it. It's not both of us have seen it, and it's on more you and appealing to the fans. Would you prefer Sunset Boulevard over Boogie Nights? Like, I'm putting it out to people. If you guys want a people vote, it's literally Sunset Boulevard versus anything else.
Okay, that's a very good question. All right, guys, I need you guys to vote. So, Pedro, Gavin, Mixed Memorabilia, Riri, RJ Skarenki, if you're still here, Francis Lalonde, if you're still about. I think you may have left out. But come on, guys, help me out here. Do we do Sunset Boulevard or Boogie Nights? We are not putting Babylon in, Gavin, but I love the fact that you would vote for it. Sunset Boulevard.
It would be 2 Chazelles. We can't do 2 Chazelles. So
yeah, can't do 2 Chazelles. Very good point. Sunset Boulevard or Boogie Nights. That's the people's vote this week. What are we going for? Please comment down below. First 3 answers is the first 3 of 1 gets the pick. Sunset Boulevard or Boogie Nights. We're not doing Jackie Brown Mixed Memorabilia. No.
But if Jackie wins, that's the thing, Mixed Memorabilia. If Jackie wins, you now have 2 Tarantinos in the final. And that's what we can't allow. And we're not going to be like, oh, you won, because it's 2 Tarantinos. We're going to take option 2. So
Pedro says Boogie Nights, Gavin Mann says Sunset Boulevard, and Mixed Memorabilia says Jackie Brown. Mixed Memorabilia, can you split the vote, please? Sunset Boulevard or Jackie Brown or Boogie Nights? Help me out here. Where's the 2 Chazelles?
What do you mean? If we do Babylon and La La Land, it would be 2.
Yeah. No. Gavin Mann is commenting, you did 2 Bruce Willis last week. Why not 2 Chazelles this week?
Fair point.
Is it?
I mean,
I don't see it that way. I see the logic, but I also don't agree with it. Sunset Boulevard or Boogie Nights? Oh, Mixed Memorabilia's gone Sunset.
Okay, Sunset Boulevard it is.
Sunset it is. Ladies and gentlemen, the official movie Mount Rushmore Part 3.
Andy came in with Sunset as well. So, thank you, Andy.
Hello, Andy. Part 3, in no particular order, is
The Disaster Artist.
Our second entry is
Sunset Boulevard.
Our third entry is
Collateral.
Our final entry into the movie Mount Rushmore of movies set in LA, Part 3 is...
It's in the name, La La Land. Okay. Okay, guys, thank you very much for your participation, your votes, and just, again, hanging with these 2 guys.
And for my happy birthdays, thank you.
Yeah. You showed my boy some love, so I appreciate that, guys. Okay, as per usual, at Movie MT Rushmore on Twitter. More importantly, the guy we're retweeting at Movie Polls for You, JT from We Love Movies. That's who we'll be able to vote and crown the final entrant into movies set in LA. I've always said we'll never do another. We've done 2 anothers on one topic. That's how big this is. So this is it. Make the vote count, people, and make
another one.
Another one, yeah. So really appreciate all the support, guys. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Tell 5 people to tell 5 people, and then for them to tell their people. Yes, Mixed Memorabilia asked the question.
Here we go. So, because it was my birthday this week, we were supposed to be doing, as has become now custom on the show, thank you, Season 5, the Drunk Rushmore. However, we wanted to finish our LA special, so the Drunk Rushmore has been pushed back a week. So the Drunk Rushmore is next week. And for our topic, because I'm stupid.
I really hate you about
this. And I know it's not common for us to do. I think we've got to frame this as worst, surely. We can't be putting the word best.
I mean, it's going to be the best of the worst, isn't it?
It's just the worst. What is his worst? It has to be that, surely. We're grading shit here. For our Drunk Rushmore, we are doing a worst. The top 10 worst movies. And I know you guys are now keep it positive. It's not possible.
It's not possible.
It's not possible. Because the topic we are wank stain of the highest degree. Because the topic we are doing next week is from a man who really, really rates himself. But he's really not very good at all. Ladies and gentlemen, UA Bowl movies. And if you don't know, you're gonna get to know the top 10 worst UA Bowl movies.
Guys, Gavin, I wish.
Oh, that would be so much easier.
It would be so much easier. I again, no matter the.
That is a good idea for your birthday, though.
I don't mind. I would actually prefer we swapped it, so I've got more time to do this one. But you have insisted, and it's the one time.
My birthday.
It's the one time, as deep as this friendship goes, it's the one time I can officially say, I hate you, because I do not have the time. Yeah, I do not have the time. I'm still trying to think how I'm going to squeeze this in, because normally, guys, I'd have about 3 backups and ways I could swerve it in. You know, there's a way that Die Hard with a Vengeance will creep in, or Back to the Future could creep in. No. It has to be directed by a guy I have seen 1 movie of. This whole LA thing, I thought, yes, it's going to buy me some time.
I thought that too. Hasn't. I fucked up.
No, it hasn't. I have not had that time recently. This past weekend, I was out with the missus for a wedding. An entire weekend of potential film watching has gone. Before that, I've worked 10 straight days, and I've been like, fuck, it has not happened. And I'm not going to lie. Memento, as much as I've seen it, and I needed a refresher, I've tried for 3 to 4 nights to finish that fucking film as well. I am in the biggest trouble of my life, because there is 1 film, there is 9 to squeeze in. With no reaches.
There's not enough days.
There isn't. I have tomorrow off, and I cannot talk to the missus.
Movies a night.
I wish. The only way I can do this is I have Friday to myself. And I've decided.
Are you doing 9 movies in one day?
That's going to be ridiculous. I'm going to squeeze others in and around. But my other day off is now promised to the missus, because it just happened to have been that way. And
I hope the missus is leaving you the fuck alone on Friday.
She's at work. That's the only reason it's possible. Jimmy, if you're watching, you've done the rota and I owe you. It's the only way I can break this down. Oh, honestly, guys, I have never put it out there this much in my life. I'm not sure if I can do it. The parameters of Rushmore is that it needs to be top 10. I beg you to
do
just
10
at Movie MT Rushmore. Nico, how about the top 5 this week? And this shit, it's not like you're saying, top 10 Hitchcock, and you might actually appreciate what you're going to discover. because I'm pretty low on Hitchcock. No. This is going to be the worst journey of your lives. So what I'm going to do right now, guys, I'm going to throw the gauntlet out there. If, like AJ, you are at one film or less, join us in this quest. See how many UA Bowl films you can squeeze in between now and next week, Tuesday. Right? Let's see how much we can discuss this.
Shit.
And how pissed we will get. Because it's not going to be great, guys. It's not going to be great.
It's not. It's not. But Pedro, to answer your question, I believe we have done a revenge episode before.
We have. I'm sure.
We have.
I'm sure
We have. Season 1 or 2. It was a while ago, that one. We could do another one. Let's focus.
Rebellious defense. I think this appreciates why you didn't go for blood in, blood out. Explains it really. Possibly. But again, the cultural appropriation just wasn't right, Holmes. It wasn't.
Damn, man.
Oh.
So we've got something. Yeah, it's going to be pretty interesting next week, guys. But it's a drunk Rushmore. So, you know, it's going to be a laugh. I may even bring some clips in off YouTube and we do reactions to it because we're going to be drunk. And oh my God, if you haven't seen UA Bowl films, y'all ain't ready. You don't want none of this. Your boys are bad, man. And we be rocking the streets. Paparazzi curve. We be dropping the beats. Your boys are bad, man.
Yeah.
Shout out to my guy, John Cena. Oh, I'm going to see him at Mania. I'm fucking so happy about that. And speaking of wrestling, he is over on Ministry of Wrestling on YouTube. I am over at Daddy Boo. And we are going to see you guys next week. UA Bowl and this season's Drunk Rushmore.
We are, guys. Yeah.